In the heart of the vast Pacific, where the ocean kisses the sky and the islands dance with the sun, the ancient stories of our ancestors come to life. These are the tales of wisdom, courage, and adventure. Welcome to the Tales of the Islands.
Episode 3. Storms Between Stars. The rain came the way it always did in Samoa. Sudden, sweeping, alive with the fury of the gods. Thunder cracked like drums of war as Sinilau stood beneath the shelter of a great breadfruit tree. Soaked and breathless, his eyes fixed on the village center where torches fought against the wind. Salamasina had been taken inside. Her cousin, Matau, had said nothing more after his warning. But the message was clear. Sinilau would not simply walk back into her life. He would have to fight for the right to even speak her name, and the village had heard. By morning, word had spread from fale to fale that the Tongan boy, son of a chief, storm-chosen and defiant, had come back across the ocean for the taupou. Some scoffed, others watched with quiet wonder. A few elders whispered of omens and dreams, visions and stars falling and tides rising. Sinilau stayed by the outer fale, where guests and wanderers were permitted. He accepted no food. He spoke only when spoken to, and he waited. The summons came with the morning tide. He was to appear before the matai council. Draped in a clean tauvala and bearing only a carved wooden offering, Sinilau entered the council circle with humility. The chiefs sat in semicircle, their eyes ancient and unreadable. "Sinilau," the eldest spoke, "you return uninvited. You return without kava, without warriors. Why?" "I return with only my heart," he said simply, "and it is full." Laughter echoed from the younger chiefs, but the elder did not smile. The heart is not currency in Samoa. "Then let me earn what I seek," Sinilau said. "Name your trial." The council deliberated, and by dusk it was decided. He would face Matau in the Taua ole Fa'amalosi, the trial of strength and spirit. A duel, not of weapons, but of endurance, of mind, of balance, of respect. The arena would be the tide pools of Fagalii. When Salamasina heard, she rushed to her father. "You cannot let them do this," she cried. "You know what this is. You know Matau will not stop until blood is drawn." Her father, Chief Lealofi, looked at his daughter with tired eyes. "You are the light of my house, Salamasina. But you are also the hand of our ancestors. If he is not worthy, let the ocean decide." Salamasina turned away, fury burning in her chest. This was not just a test. It was a message. One meant to humiliate the Tongan boy and scare her into silence. The next day, the village gathered at the tide pools. Children perched on rocks. Elders sat under woven mats. Women stood with arms crossed, unreadable. Sinilau stepped forward, bare-chested, the marks of his homeland inked across his shoulder. Matau waited. already waist deep in the water, his stare sharp as obsidian. The first trial was balance. They stood on slippery rocks as waves crashed, each trying to remain unmoved. The second was breath, diving into the depths to retrieve a stone carved with the symbol of their ancestors. The third was endurance, a dance of tradition and strength, slaps to the chest, blows to the thigh. No anger, only protocol, witnessed by the gods. Hours passed, blood dripped from Sinilau's lip. Matau's eye had swollen shut, but neither yielded. It was then, in a moment between the crash of waves, that a voice cut through the salt and wind. Enough! Salamasina stepped into the water. I will not be the prize of your pride, she said. I am not a fish to be woven in a net. I am a woman. I choose. The crowd fell silent. She turned to her cousin. You would be a man to prove your worth? Then you have already lost. To Sinilau. You crossed the sea. You bore the storm. You faced a trial. But now you must rest. If your heart is true, let me carry part of it. The chiefs murmured, and Chief Leolofi stood. This trial has ended, he said, but the tide does not settle easily. Let time judge what we cannot. That night, as the stars broke through the clouds, Sinilau sat at the edge of the village. His body ached. His face bore bruises. But his heart had never felt so full. Salamasina sat beside him, silent for a while. Do you regret coming back? She asked. He shook his head slowly. Even if the sea swallowed me tomorrow, this moment would be worth it. She smiled, leaning against him as the tide whispered at their feet. But far across the ocean, winds began to gather again. The storm had only just begun.
That's all for today, folks. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Till next time. That's all for today, folks. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Till next time. Manuia.